Previously on Leukemia Update.
It would seem my muscles have hit some form of limit. Now, I don't know if it's like temporary and there's always seems to be something at the moment. We're not too sure about what it is. Hello world, it's time for another leukemia update. And boy, do we have a story for this one. Last time I left you with the news that my muscles and joints were giving me some problems. And I was left you with that I'd had my first DLI, that's the donor lymphocyte infusion, or the white blood cell transfusion. So, what happened after that? Well, New Year starts and my knee started to swell up. And to be honest, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I could hardly move or walk. I was struggling. I would go down the stairs in the morning, spend the whole day downstairs because I did not want to walk the stairs. It was really sore. And the problem with that is then you can't do much, really. You can't stand for long times. You can't say, well, let me take a nice walk to get some exercise because of the way the knee feels. And so I had to start looking at taking strong painkillers again. And problem is, I've mentioned before that I've had a bad stomach bleed, a bad laceration in my stomach lining, which made me throw up blood. And because of that, I cannot take certain medication like diclofenac and ibuprofen. So I'm stuck with paracetamol or opioids. And that's kind of a weird situation to be in. So I had to immediately go to morphine and fentanyl for the knee. During this period of time, I went to see a rheumatologist. At that point, he looked if it could be gout, but it wasn't. And he didn't think it was rheumatoid arthritis because generally, the thing is, I'm getting different pains in different limbs at different times, and it seems to be jumping around. So it wasn't sure what was going on. We decided to, by the time I saw him, I will admit the knee started to heal up, but I did have more than a week that was really painful and was really struggling. And so we kind of, just left it at that. We said we'd keep an eye on it. We made a new appointment. I did have x-rays, but apparently my bones are looking good, so that's positive. But as that healed up, I went to Amsterdam and we got the second DLI. That went well. I went home, but the crazy thing is after the DLI, I had joints that really went bad. And what happened is my right wrist and right elbow started to get sore and swell up, and so I ended up having pain that would run through the bottom of my hand. This bottom of my hand was swollen. The whole wrist was swollen and sore, running up my arm through the elbow, halfway to the shoulder. All of that was sore and swollen, and I could not use my arm. And I was in a sling to try to keep it stable. And this got so bad, I was actually on 2 fentanyl plasters, and morphine and paracetamol, all maximum dosing everything, in a lot of pain. It got so bad, the swelling, that I actually took my wedding ring off because I couldn't wear the wedding ring because my fingers had swelled up as well. I could hardly get dressed in the morning, and let alone get undressed. I mean, try taking off things when you've only got one arm and the other one hurts with any bit of movement. But there were a lot of things I just couldn't do, and so it kind of does stop you. I feel bad for Tesha because she's, working hard and studying, plus then she's got to try and take care of me, and I can't do much anyway. So when she's at home, then she tries to help out. So that's good on her, but it is also tough for her to have to see this. In the meantime, we did an extra blood test while all these ligaments were inflamed. I saw the rheumatologist again. Our first thought is, well, this is probably because I had the white blood cell transfusion. Probably what happened is my immune system was activated and started going in sort of like an overdrive mode, causing inflammation. It's kind of hard to think was it sort of already happening earlier, hence the knee after the first DLI and the other problems. But out of the blood tests, we found out that the jumping around of the pain and the blood test figures show that I do actually have a very early form of rheumatoid arthritis. They do say that in the beginning stages it will sometimes go from place to place, being mild. My problem is I'm also sitting with medication that amplifies pain. So I've got this starting arthritis plus a medication that amplifies pain. And that combination has been ramping up the pain really bad. We were talking about how we can treat this, because the problem is I'm still being treated for leukemia. And you cannot treat arthritis while you're treating leukemia, because the solution for arthritis, like prednisone and things, undoes all the work that the DLIs are doing to fight the leukemia. So I can't do both. So the decision at the moment is we just do the leukemia treatment, and we try and manage the arthritis as best as we can, either with painkillers or with prednisone injections in the specific joint that is sore and swollen at that moment. That way it doesn't have to affect the whole body, but just in the joint. And that's kind of the route we're going to go now. At the moment, the right arm is healed up. It's a little sore still, but it's good enough that I don't really need painkillers. My left wrist is still the area that seems to be sore when everything else is going well, but it's also not that bad. So at the moment, I'm okay. But to me, it's more just to have a relief of a couple of days of very little pain compared to having had weeks of heavy pain in the knee and in the right arm. We are planning the third DLI. I have to see when that's going to happen. We're still waiting to see how the second one's worked out totally. We still want to give that a couple of weeks to finish its work and then see what it looks like. But anyway, that's where I am. A month of horrible pain, painkillers. I'll say one thing: fentanyl is not a good thing to be on. I could actually notice that my cognitive abilities were in deterioration. And I'm using fancy words because I'm not on fentanyl anymore. But it does kind of make you feel stupid. You forget things. I started to struggle to keep track of the day, what day it was again. Which I really don't like. I had that during 2019 really bad. And getting off the fentanyl, I mean, yeah, I was on it for a short while. I feel sorry for people who are on a long time, because even if you go off it for a short while, I did have about 2 days of like depression because of going off it. It's really messed up stuff. Unfortunately, it's part of, I suppose, what I'm going to have to do for the arthritis. Part of what I'm also doing for the arthritis, important to mention, is nutrition and exercise and sleep are really important for this, because I cannot go through a medical way of fighting it. So I've got to do it on, shall we say, more holistic way. I've got to do it with my lifestyle. So the way I eat, the way I move, get good exercise, to try and keep that under control, so that we can fight the leukemia. So that when the leukemia is fought and done, and I'm in remission, I can then look at tackling the arthritis properly. For now, today I'm feeling good, hence that I'm recording the video. I've been trying to keep busy and getting things done, and we'll just have to see how things go on. I'll try and keep you guys also updated as we go along. If you're interested to see how the whole story went, I'm putting the playlist up to be found. Other than that, if you want to support me in the work I'm doing, helping other people with their cancer battle, or the Christian work I'm doing, I have started a Patreon, so you can also find me there. And otherwise, with your prayers, they're always welcome. Anyway, thank you for watching. Keep well and God bless.